Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we have another teardown video. We're going to be tearing down this throttle body. Now before we go ahead and begin, guys, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below and definitely smash that like button because it helps the channel out. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started on today's teardown. So we have our throttle body on the bench, guys, and this one came out of a older Honda, I want to say 90s. I believe it was an Accord or something with a 2.3 liter. So this one's going to be pretty simple because it's just a throttle body itself. There's no idle air motor or anything on here. So it should be a pretty simple tear down. Where I'm going to begin is go ahead and remove the screw that is holding in this bracket. This bracket probably held on some sort of accessory or the throttle cable. So we're going to go ahead and move that. Now it's already missing one of these screws, so there was only one left. Let's go ahead and take that and throw it to the side. Once we have that off, now we have this, I want to say TPS sensor, and it has a few Torx bolts holding it in. We're going to remove those, and they come off just like that. Now a quick snippet, guys, just to show you, these TPSs, they were adjustable back in the day. If you look at those holes, they're pretty elongated. They give you enough throw to get in there, and just to kind of show you, what I'm going to do is go ahead and thread one of these back in there. And you guys can see that you have some adjustability. So if you're looking at this car with a computer or however you were determining it back in the day, I believe this is pre-OBD2. This is actually an OBD1 car, I believe. What you would be able to do is loosen them and adjust the throttle position to 0 so you guys can get it correct on there and tuned. Just a little old school feature. Nowadays, everything's electronic. You don't really find that. But it's kind of cool to see that this did have that. And we're going to take our TPS sensor off. It's actually really easy on these. All this is it's a little spin type. There's a spring here. All the sensor stuff is built back here. Depending on how much this is moving, it'll give a signal back to the computer for the load. There's no real way to open these up, so I'm just going to chalk it to the side and not worry about it. And on the other side here, we have what's driving it. You guys can see as we open the throttle, that's spinning in there. Has a little hook and some teeth on there that'll grab into it, and then there's a spring. Now this spring is actually multi-use. It actually helps the throttle body swing back into place. As you guys will see, there's one here and another spring that is located on here. So just be mindful of that. Now everything else on here, you're gonna have some ports. This is where some coolant would flow in to keep the throttle body warm. This is probably just a vacuum line, yep, because it has a port in there. And another vacuum line there. These don't really lead to anything. They're usually hooked up to accessories or whatever needed vacuum after the throttle body. So, pay no mind to this one. And this one's actually broken. It's kind of bent up. What we're going to be doing next is we're going to be removing these Phillips screws here to remove our throttle blade. So let me go ahead and take these off, and they come off just like that. And once you remove those, if you open up your throttle, now depending on how stubborn this is going to be, this should technically slide off just like that, but there's so much crud in it that it probably won't. So there is the throttle blade. It's just held in place with those two screws, and it's actually a slide in. If you guys will see here, and you notice that it has a slot, so it's kind of like a quarter going into a machine. And FYI, look at how dirty this thing is, guys. Throttle body cleanings, not a scam. They actually are a good thing for your car if you have some miles on it. Clearing up this material on here, the stickiness, will actually improve your throttle performance. Now, it's not going to make you into a race car just by cleaning it, but it helps restore idle and some performance issues. So be mindful of that. Next time you guys go in and they recommend a throttle body cleaning, if you haven't had one done in a while, definitely worth it. It's not one of those scam type things. Unless they're recommending it every 5,000 miles, then you probably don't want to do it. So either way, now that we have the throttle blade off, what we're going to do is go ahead and take off this 11mm bolt. And I'm going to hold this here because I don't know if it's going to want to open up on me. And we're just going to go ahead and take that nut off. And this does have a spring. Hopefully this doesn't pop us. Now we're going to have, I guess you can say, a little difficulty here because I don't fathom this is just going to want to come off. And if it does, I got to be very careful. because again, it is spring loaded. So it's not gonna want to come off just like that. I'm gonna have to use my hammer. I'm gonna tap it, and glad I was holding on to it, because as you guys can see, that spring was ready to strike back at me. Now you guys will notice that we have our little wheel where our throttle cable normally goes to, and then this is one of the springs. It's usually under tension. The way they tension these is by spinning them. That's what creates the tension. If you saw it come off, you saw it was kind of in a spinning movement. So that's one portion of it right there. Now what we should be able to do is just go ahead and push in, and we should be able to get out the rest of this. And it just has one long shaft just like that. In here we are just gonna have some seals and a bushing, and then we also have the spacer. So there's not a whole lot left here on the throttle body itself, except all that dirt. Again guys, that's what the car is breathing in. This is throttle body cleaning 101 right there, the best example to show you guys. And then here we have our spring, and then we just have our shaft. Now on the end of the shaft, this is all pressed in. Can't really take it off, but you guys can basically see spring goes on one side, and this is where it would contact the TPS sensor. Real easy, real simple. In case you guys want to see that, just show you a little mock-up. It all intertwines like this and moves in like that, in case you guys were curious. But overall, that's what's inside the throttle body. It's actually pretty basic, real simple. These things are as easy as they get. The newer ones are all electronic, guys, so you're not gonna find a lot of these manual style ones. This one's an early 90s car, but you know, it's still cool to open them up and see the differences in them and see all these little things. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, because it definitely helps the channel grow. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.